Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. There are rumours swirling. Some of them are quite strong rumours backed by people in the know who are saying that the council tax freeze, the one announced by Humza Yousaf at the conference last year, much to everyone's surprise, may well be abandoned. They went to so much trouble getting all the councils on board. There was a couple of holdout councils, and there must have been bribery, cajolery, threat, all sorts of things. And yet, eventually, they got all the councils on board, even councils that weren't SNP controlled. And now it looks exactly like they're about to bounce that out the window and let councils let rip with massive council tax rises to fill the black holes that they've found themselves in. On top of this, and this is where it's really going to hurt, because they're going to be bringing in more money from council taxpayers, they're going to be getting less money from the Scottish Government. The Scottish Government is going to look at them and go, well, you're getting more money from the council taxpayers, therefore you don't need quite so much from central government. And therefore, in order to save money, they're not going to give the block grants to the councils in such a big degree. Well, what does this mean? Well, it means for Scottish council taxpayers, their bills go up, but the services don't increase because the councils will have either the same amount of money or, in some cases, slightly more money, but certainly not enough more to make a significant difference. And yet individuals, the householders themselves, will be paying a lot more each. There can be no actual limit. There's no protection in law to say how much the council taxes will go up. There is a universal law in England and Wales about being 1% more than inflation, but that law does not exist to protect people in Scotland. And so these things could go through the roof. Some councils are Conservative, some councils are SNP, some councils are Labour, and so forth. But there's very few that will get this thing through without debate. But I think that every council will, regardless of political colour, push for higher council tax. And if these rumours and reports are borne out, then I think it's going to be horrendous for council taxpayers. They will just literally not have enough money left after it. And so it's also another massive humiliation for Humza Yousaf. His one policy that he thought he would go out and be a high on is going to come back and bite him because it is so... Well, it was such a stupid idea in the first place, to put it bluntly. With 50% more, paying more income tax than in England, and now you're going to be paying more council tax than in England. It makes you wonder whether or not it's worth A, working, or B, staying in Scotland, doesn't it? It's just awful. Now, the Policy and Sustainability Committee, they've put their report out, and they're talking about outlining the progress they're going to make over the next year's budgets, next 2 years. I think the report runs for the next 2 years. And it includes all the commitments that they legally have to do, as well as the things that they would like to do. And it's just unfundable at the moment. And so the SNP are saying, right, we may have to, this is why they're going to do it. They're going to abandon the council tax freeze. Now, the commitments from the central government payment are committed. They are guaranteed for 1 year. But after that, they'll start reducing them. And that's when it's really going to bite. You'll be paying ever more council tax to get even reduced services. So people must remember these things when the vote comes. And this was all put in place to alleviate poverty. You know, oh, well, look, we'll have a council tax freeze. Oh, we'll try and do this. Or we'll have these laws here that will protect that. Oh, and we'll get these services there. They're also putting up... the rents for council tenants and social housing tenants. People are not going to have any money at all, are they? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely different. If you work in Scotland, it's just going to be to a point where it's not actually worth working. You'd be better off on the dole. I mean, and all these sort of policies to alleviate poverty are coming back and biting, as I say. And there's no point saying, oh, but services will improve when they clearly won't. More and more people will be impoverished. There'll be more child poverty. There'll be more hungry people. There's fuel poverty, food poverty, transport poverty. The whole economy will collapse because no one's going to have any spare money to go to the shops, to cinemas, to bars, to restaurants. They'll all close. More people unemployed. And this has all come about directly as a result of Humza Yousaf at the conference panicking because he didn't have a big thing to finish with on his speech. So he has that light bulb bing moment and talks about a council tax freeze. And we've covered this in the past about how once he said that, everybody's looking around going, what council tax freeze? He hadn't discussed it with anybody. Nobody knew it. The civil service didn't know it. Shona Robinson didn't know it. And then they all had to go back and going, what on earth possessed you? And they all knew it was absolutely destined to be a pig's ear. But he had to have something. And he's such a stupid, an insanely stupid man who does not see the consequences of his actions. And so he thought that this, because he'd said it would work and it would be fine and wonderful. And it's going to turn out to be an absolute disaster in every single aspect. There is nothing good about his policies. And now they're not only going to be reversed, which will embarrass and humiliate him, it will also embarrass and humiliate the party that went all along with it and works and, like I say, struggles so hard to get all the other councils on board. Everyone's harmed by this. But what's significant will be the rises year on year on year. And when over the course of the next 3 years, your council tax rises may be 15 or 20% in total over 3 years. And people are going, I literally cannot afford to work now. My income tax is so high, my cost of living is so high, my rent is so high, my council tax is so high, I'll be better off on the dole and get it all paid for me. And if you don't think that's going to happen, think again. People will do the numbers and then try and get themselves fired. It's coming. Madness. Anyway, thanks very much. We'll speak about this. Let me know what you think, and we'll speak to you later. Bye.